What's going on, YouTube? And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. Uh, it's New Year's. It's New Year. It's January the 1st, 2025. Hopefully everybody had a good New Year's party and ready to get this new year going. So just a quick little intro before I drop this hips video that I did with them this morning. I got some more content coming out. I got a friend that I've met. He's done some time in the Texas prison system. He's an older gentleman, done some time in the Texas prison system. He's going to tell his story. He also got some education and degrees in I don't know what it would be called, but it's the topic on when people lying and psychological and their gestures and their behaviors to see if they're lying or not, stuff like that. So he's he knows some of that stuff, and he's been educated on it. So I'm gonna bring him on the panel, but I'm gonna let him tell his story first. That way y'all can get an idea of who he is and uh, get to know him as well, because he's gonna be dropping stories here as well, and as promoting his channel as well. There's gonna be a couple of other smaller channels coming on here, promoting their channels. You know, so hopefully we can get this 2025 going and bring different types of content to the masses, religion, politics, gangs, trending topics, uh, whatever can keep the people entertained. So that's just a quick little update, and hopefully y'all enjoy this video from Hips. He's gonna be doing some more, and y'all stay tuned, man.
If there's not something to it, you know,
Yeah, there has to be some truth to it, man. All these documentaries,
because it
and
ain't like we're the only people doing this. Because we're not. There's plenty of people out there researching this.
yeah, and there's another, man. That it's not just the only state, man. There's a documentary on YouTube out of Texas, man. Out of the penitentiaries that it happens here too, man. It's
Right.
everywhere. It's not as how I would say, like, flamboyant, like how Mark is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not because it's in every state, in every prison, in every country, in every prison. This is all over the world. This ain't just something going on here. And Mark acts like this is just something specifically put down for him. And it wasn't. This wasn't no out to get Mark documentary. This was documentary on prison lifestyles. And Mark, you just happened to fall in that perverted shit.
Yeah. I mean, he fit the character role, man.
Yeah, fit the bill.
And that's what Jonathan Schwartz said, man. That documentary had a bigger impact, man, because of Mark's role, man. That it was so natural and true.
Well, I
That
mean, at the end of it, man, they had psychologists go over this documentary. They had, and people protect their interests. There's not no like PBS, Public Broadcasting Network. They're not gonna just falsify documents and put them on TV.
nah.
I mean, I could see it if it was some run of the mill average Joe sitting up under a shade tree trying to get his feet wet on YouTube, but that's not the case right here. This was done on a public broadcasting network, which is a nationwide TV. And they're
And,
not going to slander somebody like that and put that out there like that if it's not true. Because they
no,
have lawsuits. They have lawyers and people that have to deal with stuff like this.
and that's what Jonathan Schwartz said, man. With the interview with Big Lee, he said he had informants in and out of prison, man.
Right.
And he even said it that yes, there was a possibility that a straight man could come on camera and lie about all this, but he said
it's highly unlikely.
yeah, he said it was highly unlikely. And if that was the case, the guards and the informants would have said, "Oh no, Mark's not that's not really Mark." But
Yeah.
nobody came forward and said, "Hey."
Yeah, nobody came forward and said, no, man, that's not Mark. He's not a pervert. He wouldn't dare do nothing like that. Nobody came forward and said that.
I'm gonna play it, because we're gonna go. The only evidence we got right now is this documentary and the interview with Jonathan Schwartz, the director.
Right.
That's all we have.
Yeah, but you know something? I really don't see what more we need.
That's it.
I mean, that's what all this is based on. That documentary and Paul Schwartz. That's what all of this was based on. His documentary. How he set people in motion, how he sat down and interviewed them and talked to them. And Mark, brother, you sat down and said what you said. Now, you can, 20 years later, you can't deny what you said on that documentary. You said it, it come out of your mouth, the people saw it. Now, you could come back and say, hey, man, I lied, I did it for TV. People might go for that, bro. But this right here, I don't see how in the world can sit there and say, or the people, the viewers, can sit there and ride on his nuts like that. It's in black and white. Go look at it for yourself.
And that's the thing, man, that people are just picking and choosing what they want to watch from this documentary and hear.
Well, you know, it's just like any other TV. Drama sells.
It does.
Drama sells. And that's what people's going to pump up. I mean, if you watch any kind of docu-series or any kind of podcast, or drama sells. It's on everything. Even the sports network, drama sells.
It does.
And I get it. And if we have to dramatize this to bring the truth out of Mark, then we'll just, by God, I'll go to Hollywood if that's what I got to do.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not going to keep just slandering my name on something and telling the world that I'm just a fruitcake, lying junkie. When it's in black and white, you can look on it and see for yourself who the black man is telling the lie.
I'm gonna start this clip right here for we can see what you.
We partied together. We had sex together, and we fought together.
Well, that's David Mendenhall.
And we was there for each other.
The relationship that we shared was all.
Yeah. That's Mindy. Yeah. But the other one's about to come on right now.
Right.
Really like the relationship I had with my child's mother. I mean, we were so compatible. You know what I'm saying? We had so much in common. We developed great feelings for one another. He was like my shadow. Everywhere you seen me, you seen him. We were best friends. It wasn't, the relationship wasn't based on sex, me fucking his ass. It was.
What was the relationship based off, man?
The relationship was based off of sex. That's all it was. A notch in his belt to say, hey, I got this white boy, and hey, I'm fucking him in his ass. That's the relationship. That's their whole MO, man. That's what they do. They go after these white guys in prison and they treat them like a notch on a belt. Hey, I've got another notch in the belt. Let's carve this one out. I got another one. Let's carve this one out. Oh man, I got his mama to send me $300. Let's carve 2 notches.
You know, in the beginning of the documentary, when Mindy says that Mark asked him for a favor, man, but they kind of try to portray it like it was consensual. But what was your partake in that Mindy and Mark situation? Was it consensual or
no, it wasn't consensual between them two? Because let me tell you what they done. Mark would send Mindy to check the rosters every day, new inmates coming in. And if it was a young white guy, I say young white guy, I say, 22, 23-year-old white guy, 24, 25, something like that, fair complected, blonde headed, good looking, they had him. and that was Mindy's job to knock him off for Mark. They was all in that shit, man. Mindy's just as guilty as he is.
Okay. So they were both.
Really, Mindy's even worse than Mark was, because you're a white boy doing this to your own kind.
So when Mark says Mindy was really about that, man.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't no. He wasn't no. They had been together for some years, so before anybody else ever come along. I mean, when I met Mark, I met Mindy too, and that's just what they did, man. They were a team. That's what they did. You heard Mark say that they had a relationship, that they were close, like his baby's mama.
Yeah.
I mean, what part of that gayness right there don't the world believe? We had his exact words just then were, and correct me if I'm wrong, my relationship with Mindy was like my relationship with my baby's mama. Is that not what he said?
Yeah, man. He's
That's what I
self-committed.
thought he said. I don't understand why they can't nobody else in the world decipher that. I mean, it's pretty plain cut English to me.
Yeah, he's
If
self-committed.
you're a man and you're telling you another man is just like your baby's mama to you, then you're telling me you're gay. And there's no way, two ways about that. I cannot understand that in any other form or fashion.
Oh, okay. So it makes sense, man. You know, after you're in the relationship for a long term, man, you kind of pick up off your couple's mannerisms and ways, and you know, you kind of feed off of each other, man. So who was the predator, and who was the master and who was the protege, man?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right here. Mark was the predator, but he's dumb as a box of rocks. Mindy was the mastermind.
Okay.
Mark can't think past his two front toes.
It was like a pinky in the brain type of thing.
Yeah, it's like a pinky in the brain type of thing, except Mindy was pinky and the brain. He was just a dummy. Let me tell you what Mark was to Mindy. I'm going to tell you what Mark was to Mindy, and I hope this cuts you like a knife, Mark. You were number Mindy's do-boy when you get through. He was giving you his little butt and doing this, that, and the other, and you did whatever he wanted you to do. So who was the boy there? Really?
Oh. So Mindy go out there and get herself in trouble, and here comes Mark to save him.
Yeah, no questions asked. What Mindy told Mark to do, Mark done. Point blank, period. And anybody you talk to on this thing along in that area will tell you that same thing.
Yeah. Oh, Mark, man.
Oh, Mark. I don't know to call him Mark or Marshall.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what he's doing 20 years later is he's telling on himself is all he's doing. I mean, I was always raised that when you was accused of something and the first thing you do is go on your defenses about it, you lied. You did that. And you know what happens when you tell somebody the truth about yourself? They act like Mark every time. Every time. I don't care who it is. You tell somebody the truth about themselves and they act just like he's acting.
Yeah, man, we've seen him. We've seen him, man. When people get under his skin, man, he'll start hollering and cussing and
Yeah, that's crazy. You're a grown man, man. Get over yourself.
Yeah,
get over yourself. You're not all that. You wasn't all that. You didn't make no noise in prison. Nobody respected you. You wasn't nothing but a pervert, and everybody knew you for that. All them little videos that they're showing on that documentary, how you walking through the crowd and hang out, that was nothing but for show, Mark. You didn't hang out with them folks. You hung out with them homosexuals. That's all anybody ever seen this cat with was a queer.
So he didn't have no solid thoroughbred dudes
he had
around.
His brother. That was it. He had JG up there, and that was it.
Oh,
And both of them funny as fish pussy.
Oh, Mark, man. JG is righteous, brother.
Yeah.
A deep
Same,
love
they got the
body.
same dad. They had the
And we
same
was
mama.
there for each other through this, you know.
But do you think you? I don't think they're actually because Mark said Mark's he's saying JG was just his brother, his like a friend that he met in penitentiary. He said he says he's the only black sheep of his family.
Who, Mark?
Yeah, that's what he says.
He probably is. I don't doubt that because I'm the only black sheep of my family. I don't doubt that. I'm the only person on either side of my family that's ever been in any trouble at all. So I don't doubt that he probably is a black sheep of his family. If my son acted like that, he'd be the black sheep of my family.
Oh, okay, yeah. During that documentary, Charles, where were the parents, man? Like your mom, like before the documentary went to them, did your mom or anybody's parents knew what was going on at that time?
Yeah, mine did. I told mine. I told mom. My mom seen it. My dad seen it. You know, we did that documentary, and I kept them on point the whole time. I told them the whole time what we was doing, what was going to be said. They could watch it. You know, I do my best to protect their names. I try my best not to put my mom and dad's name out there on anything. And,
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, they seen it. They knew everything that was going on. My mama's been right beside me every day in prison. There's nothing I've done or hadn't been into that she don't know about.
Man, that's good, man. That's good.
I mean, I'm one of them. My mom and dad, after all of these years, they've never washed their hands on me. I mean, that was still something I locked up all my life, and I'm living in their house.
Yeah, man. That means I mean that's you're still going to be able to enjoy him for these last couple of years,
And
man.
I'm going to. And I'm not letting some fag like Mark ruin that for me.
Yeah, man. He just needs to come out and just be honest about the shit.
He really needs to either be honest about it or just quit. One of the two. Because, I mean, he's not hurting me by what he's saying. I could care less what the world thinks. All he's doing, he's making himself look like a sad joke. Because the people can jump on that bandwagon all they want to, but the people that's been down that road, they know the truth. See, the people that's on this bandwagon that's believing all the stuff that he says has probably never been in a prison, probably never had any dealings with this kind of stuff at all. And now they've got the poor, pitiful, the white man's took everything out on the black man on TV doing this dumb shit. So what are they going to believe? It's the same sad old classic story that's been going on since the slavery days. It's everybody's fault that you're doing this, Mark. It's none of your fault. I get it. Well, brother, I didn't do that to you. My people didn't do that to you. The people around in this world today did not do that to you. Those people have been dead and gone for 2 centuries. Get over it. Get over it, brother. You're a flaming fag, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think there's a video of him.
I'm so tired of hearing that. That's all you hear in Alabama. Noel, that's all you hear in Alabama. The white man did this. The white man did this. The white man did this to the black man. Okay, well, that's fine. That's cool. That's fine. They did that 200 years ago. They did that. Okay. So their kids has got to be punished by being tortured and demented and raped. So that gives you the right to punish somebody's child for what happened to your great, 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 great grandfather's grandfather. Come on, man. They don't give you the right to do that shit to these kids.
I think that was one of the main reasons. That was one of the reasons Jonathan Schwartz decided to do the documentary there, man, at Limestone, because like he said it in the interview that the KKK were in Alabama at one time. So maybe their ancestors were there in Alabama doing all these crimes. So now once the whites go to prison, the power flip switches over. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And I hate to say this too, man. And it's a sad thing. But even today, The prison system today in every state in the country is the black man's world. So they can't no one black man dispute that, because it's going on all around you. But let me give an eye opener. It is not the white man's fault that you're going through this. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's both of our fault, because we're too damn stupid to get together and put our heads together like grown men and figure out a way to make this stop. And look over what happened 2 centuries ago, because that don't matter. It has no bearing on today.
It don't, man.
And all I can say is this, Mark, is that I pray that one of your kids or nieces or nephews or whatever don't have to go through what you put kids through. But if they do, man, you better remember, man, that karma comes in a lot of ways. So by you sitting there denying all this, you could be very well stopping maybe your brother's kid from going through this. But no, instead of telling the truth, hey, man, this could happen to you. You could get raped if you do this. These people are out to do this to you when you get in there. But no, you don't. Oh, that don't happen. That it does happen, Mark, and you do it. You're part of the problem. You're obviously not trying to be part of the solution, because you're carrying on like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, man. He's 50 years old and still gangbanging.
I mean, really. I mean, does your nieces and nephews' lives, if you're doing it, I'm sure they're following your example. They're doing it too. Do they not matter to you? Do you not care about them? What's going to happen if one of them go to prison and get raped? What's going to happen then, Mark? Because it happens every day. Your kids and nephews ain't no different than nobody else's. It happens every day. So I want you to understand this, and I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. When sister or cousin or whatever calls, I want you to talk to their kid about some shit that they're into to keep them from going down through this. What is Mark Moore going to tell them? How is Mark Moore going to handle it? You going to send them on some kind of perverted stalking mission, or you going to try to stop it from happening to them? Well, you carrying on like you don't care if it happens. But that's the cold, hard truth. When you get that knock on your door and one of your loved ones is in there getting that done to them, then your whole mind will change then, Mark. Where you could change your mindset now and maybe prevent some of that shit from happening. Because I've got 5 nephews, 4 nieces by marriage, great grandsons and great nephews and 1 great niece. And if any 2 times I think any one of them kids are in any kind of trouble, I'm going to be the first one on the door to try to stop it.
Yeah, because you already got the experience, man. You got the knowledge. You already see where the problems are heading to.
Yeah, and it's a problem. I mean, that's what's wrong with the world today. The kids' parents, they won't put a grip on their kids, and legally now the legal system's got it to where you can't even
Discipline them.
discipline your own children now. And then they wonder why the prison populations are so high. Go back to the 80s and the 70s and 60s. When we grew up, when we got in trouble, we got our ass beat, sent right back out to the yard to play. All that shit wasn't going on then.
Nah,
like
hell no, man.
Now.
Nah.
Because the kids' father figures out there are just like Mark Moore. They don't care. They don't care what happens to their kids or anybody else's kids. Because if you can do that to somebody's child, you can't care what happens to your own.
That's sad, man.
And that's a sad thing. That's a really sad
whatever situation. So that caused me to have feelings about it. You know,
and then here, you got this man right here. It's a
as good as he was.
White boy online telling right here how you were, Mark. I ain't heard you say one time online that Mindy was lying. I ain't heard you say one time nowhere that Mindy was lying. Mindy's saying all kinds of bad shit about you. had
But
feelings for him, and how y'all was together all the time. What meant? So I get it now. That's your. Oh, I forgot, Mark. That's your wife. You got to ride with her.
that's his right to die. He's he's gonna keep her. He's gonna keep her out of trouble, man.
Yeah. That's his buddy. Two carrying on like two.
Just, you don't find too many people that's gonna be that good to you. Not in this place. So that was something new to me. And that's something I respected.
I woke up. First thing I wanted to see was him. Before I went to bed at night, the last thing I wanted to see was him.
Noel, I want
I
to
love
play one little section right there, and I want to put that on my byline. The first thing I want to see is him, and the last thing I want to see is him. I want that down here by my face when I log in. So when they say something, all I got to do is say, "Here, check this out."
There goes. I mean, he's talking in his self-admission, man. And that's what I don't understand why people don't.
There you go, man.
In a sense, Mark had been turned out by his own boy.
Yeah,
He fell in
wow,
love
what
with
I
Mindy.
just say? What did I just say? That Mark had been turned out by his own boy.
Yeah, but people don't listen, man.
They don't listen, they see. That's all they see. They see a black man and a white man arguing on TV. The majority of this viewers are black, so they're going straight to that.
Defending the black man, you know what I mean? But at this point, man, it's not even regardless of race, man. It's a right and wrong. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's right and wrong, and I don't know what else to say, man. You just said yourself, you long to see him in the morning and at night. Last thing you want to see before you shut your eyes, and the first thing you want to see when you open them. Come on, man. But I'm lying. But I'm lying.
You ever been in this tank right here or this dorm? Is this a dorm?
Yeah, that's 14 dorm.
You been there before?
Yeah, I've been in every dorm in that count. You had 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15 dorms. Then you had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 dorms across the planet. And then you had 16 dorm out back, which was the AIDS unit.
And like right here, where does the guard at, man? At this time, like where does this command center at?
You'll never see a guard. What it is, when you walk in the dorm,
you
got a pod in the middle, raised up. You got your A side and your B side. You'll never see that officer in the dorm. He'll always be in the pod.
Oh shit! So he ain't never paying attention, huh?
There's not, man. That was my whole point to begin with. The guards are not seeing any of this. They don't care, man. The guards right there will sit up there in that cube and watch two people beat each other to death before they try to come in there and take a chance on getting involved.
Sad, man.
That's the way it is here in Alabama. It is sad.
Is this Mendenhall right here?
Let me see.
And in prison, that made him vulnerable.
Who's this other guy with Mendenhall right here?
Let me see.
But Mark wasn't one to lose control of the situation.
See all that shit.
He reminded Mindy that it was his job to lure newcomers into their circle.
And David Mendenhall, he worked on radios. And
that guy look familiar right there, working on those radios.
That's Mendenhall.
This one right here with the short hair.
Yep. Right there. Wait, zoom his face in again.
He'd fix my radio and everything. We got to talking, eating together.
Or is that guy right there?
That's that guy. That's that might be Johnny.
I want to see if you can recognize his voice.
That's how Mendenhall would knock all them boys off from Mark. He would build them a jam up radio, sound like a stereo, and he'd do all this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, he's introducing them to Mark, and there it goes, just like that.
Together, you know, drinking together.
See, this guy's name's Eddie.
Eddie.
You know who?
Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie. I don't remember him. But that's been a long time ago, though. I'd have to see his face.
He sounds white, don't he?
Yep.
Do a little drugs together. And we became friends.
I had never turned a boy out or had a boy or anything. And that wasn't my objective. You know, I was just supposed to pull him away from the other people he was kicking it with and to kick it with us.
They never.
So there was other groups of doing the same thing, huh?
Yeah, everybody was doing it. That was what they were doing up there. And he just reiterated what I told you. That was his job, pull him away from everybody.